It's not letting me choose the cloud. I think it only lets you choose the cloud if you're the organizer.
Right, okay. So I'm going to share my screen, I think, because then you can see what I'm talking about. So where I landed, this was really useful. The A to Z was really, really useful. So my series is called the Rise Again series, and it has 3 parts to it. So it's got search for your next role, secure your new position, and impact through your work. And I was doing just a virtual workshop with search, and then the upsell was going to be the other 2 modules together. But actually the feedback Vanessa had, which was quite useful, was actually to have a virtual workshop and the 3-month coaching program as my first offer. And then because the way, the outcome I want to get people is to actually secure their next role. So search for and secure your next role, and then upsell into a mastermind for impacting through your work. So I've just been twiddling around with this now. So I've got all my modules for my signature program, for the virtual workshop. And then these are the modules for the part 2, the group coaching program. And then this is my virtual workshop. So
wow,
that's like the kind of agenda. And then my question actually would be more about pricing now that I'm bundling 2 together. And then the upsell will be through this mastermind, in terms of impact part of the program. So I guess my question I'd love to run by you guys is, my beta offering for the workshop was going to be $497, but that was for the workshop only. And then the core offer was going to be $997 for the other 2. So now I'm bundling it as, you'll get search and secure, those 2. You'll get a virtual workshop and a 3-month coaching program as my core offer. And then, so I'm just wondering about the pricing of that for beta and for regular. I'm thinking maybe $997.
So they would be one program?
Yeah, it'd be one
one program. Okay.
It would be one core offering, but for both of those 2 programs. So what they would buy would be a virtual workshop plus 3 months coaching with the content for both programs, if that makes sense. So the content for the search program is those 5 modules, and the content for the secure program is these 7 modules plus a bonus module. So that's kind of what they get in it. Now, when I first do it, I'll have to record it all, kind of deliver. So for the coaching side of it, the virtual workshop's pretty self-explanatory. For the coaching side, I think I'm probably going to do a weekly 90-minute call. So I record and then do Q&A. So at first, I'll have to do all of that live, record it, but then eventually, once I've done that once, then the materials will be in the membership site, and then the coaching time will be purely about coaching people around implementation. So with that in mind, I'm thinking maybe beta for my core offer, $997, and then this I think would be $2,997, but can use the price, I quite like what Vanessa does. You can use what you paid for Create, you can use that as I will take that off the invoice for the mastermind. I quite like that approach. But actually that's not what I'm thinking there. So I'm just thinking maybe $1,997 as a regular price to start with. I know I can increase it, but I don't know. What do you think? What does that feel like for you when I share that?
For me personally, I think that the if I'm looking at a 3-month program for a with coaching and the initial workshop, for all of it to be included, so in the end, I would just end up paying the $1,997. So I think that that's very, very reasonable. So if you wanted to go higher, or in the beginning, if you wanted to, because you're giving people, you could test it out or do a beta at like a what did she also call it, like a scholarship in the beginning, and or like you said, applying the beta price, the $997,
Or
towards the full price.
Yeah, that if they choose to then do the upsell. Did I say that somewhere?
Was the final module also included in that? I don't think it was, right?
No, so the final module will be the upsell mastermind.
Okay.
Paid for search and secure towards this. So if they pay 199, so that would actually make it, that would be 1,997. I'm not sure about that. I might actually. This is going to be a 6-month program, so I think 2,997 is right. But then let them do that, and then so do you think I could? I mean, I think you're right. I could go higher on this. I could make that 2,997. It's a workshop. It's a coaching. It's all the material. There's actually a lot in there. My wuss in me says I'll start with 197. I'll start with the 997 and then move to 197 and then just keep increasing it each time I roll it out.
Or you can go happy medium and do 24.97.
Say that again. I could go.
You could also go happy medium and go 24.97.
Yeah.
And and if you do 24.97, out of that 24.97, it is 2,000 still what they get to apply towards the other one, not the whole thing. Because you know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily apply the whole thing. I haven't seen how Vanessa does it if she applies the whole thing, but you could still applying 2,000 out of that for. That means you got like a 3-month for $500. Hello. That's like a steal.
Yeah. So
I mean, think about it and see how that sits with you. A lot of people wouldn't like my suggestion, because a lot of people would say, well, once you put the 2 in front, you're kind of committed to it.
Yeah.
Because people see 2,000 and they don't see, versus when they see 1997, they still see 1,000. You need to talk to a marketer about that,
Yeah.
But if you don't feel, do what you feel more comfortable with, because it sounds like you feel more comfortable starting with the 1997 and then increasing.
Yeah, but I like this as a step 2 to there, and then moving to. And I think 2,997 actually is a good price for it, but I just, it's my own psychological barriers of self-worth and whatever, that I just know that I'm better if I just creep up to it. But I like that middle stone, so I could maybe say that's the scholarship price, the beta ship price. This is what I'll first sell it for once I go live properly, then I'll move towards doing that. So it's just nice stepping stones, and I like having that middle stepping stone. And I also love your idea about having a credit towards the mastermind, not necessarily the full value of what they've already paid, but maybe it's £1,000 voucher or something like that. It's it's like a something that's kind of tangible, but maybe not the full price, because you're right. Otherwise, because this is 6 months, I think 2,997 does feel about right. So I'm just going to say a credit for £1,000 to put towards it, maybe at first, and then maybe I'll stop doing that, and I just sell it for 2,997. So
right.
But I think, it's all about those steps, isn't it? So 3, let's just think how much the 3, 4, 5, 6. So in total, the program would be worth 6,000 if they did everything. But obviously, that's what I'm building up towards. Right, I can see I need to switch partners now. So I'm going to shut up.
Can I ask you a question? Would you be okay if I take a photo of your schedule? Because in my mind, that's the hardest thing. Like, you know how you outline your schedule in there for the workshop? Are you okay if I take?
Yeah, go for it.
Can you go up on the page a little bit? There.
Which one is it? The workshop schedule or the module?
Schedule, the virtual workshop schedule, where it starts at 10 in the morning, welcome and introduction, that part.
Here we go. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Can you see everything there?
That looks good.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a template also in the recorded materials.
Yes, you're
Um,
right.
Okay.
Yeah, she's got some really good outlines and templates there too that you can follow.
Cool.
I think, Ali,
So-
you did a phenomenal job. You have just inspired me to take my review and get granular and specific. You did a fantastic job getting very specific with everything,
Oh,
not
thank
just
you.
like, the title and all that. So it looks amazing. It looks amazing.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
was going to say you've got so much already done, so much progress. So that's fantastic. And I
It's
saw
just
you've got
I'm
some branding already.
nearly ready to get selling. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. And
That's
thank you for your input on the price. It's really helpful. So Marilyn, sorry.
So no, that's okay. I'm on mine. I apologize. I'm on my cell phone, and so that's why I'm not on camera today. It's an old phone, and it's very quirky. So this way I know I can hear everyone and you can hear me. So I didn't have a lot of edits based on just a few words, power words here and there throughout my A to Z review. And both Vanessa's comments and the other coach, all positive, all good. Like I said, a few little edits here and there just to kind of make certain modules a little bit stronger. The only thing that I was a little stuck on was, again, the title and subtitle. I think most of my subtitles that I threw out there, or what I thought were titles, were really subtitles. They weren't like really strong. I don't know, just not very appealing to me yet, so I don't think I'm there. Vanessa had suggested something like, because I wanted to play on the words since I'm working with women in leadership, something about like ditching the suits or the oversized suits. So Vanessa had suggested like slim. She put slim in suits, with the smart and busy leaders solution to permanent weight loss.
Say that again.
So it's slim in suits, and then the colon, then the smart. Actually, it's the smart, busy leaders solution to permanent weight loss, or I could do the busy leaders solution to permanent weight loss. But it starts off with just the word slim in suits.
Yeah, love it. And I can see a logo around that. I can see slim in suits, some sort of. Are most of your clients women, or were you just talking about men then?
Mostly women. I think with the program, men are always welcome, but the target market is women. So that's kind of what I was
Slim in
thinking.
suits. I love it. Slim in suits. And then, yeah, I love that tagline about permanent weight loss. I would put the permanent in there. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, I like the idea of suits because I can again picture some sort of logo or branding around that.
Yeah, I love it.
So
yeah, it sounds amazing.
I can see how that can really zing in a marketing, like you say, logos and visuals. I can see how that could really zing.
Yeah, so that's where I am with that, and I still I had outlined both the virtual workshop and also the if I decided to do a group coaching program, but I may test it out with the virtual workshop and then offer some one-on-one coaching afterwards, again, just to do some beta testing around it. But nothing really would change from the pricing that I had identified last time. I think I was at like the $497 and then $1,997 range.
So you're going to go from 197 to 2,000?
497.
Oh, 497.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for a beta group.
Yeah, for your work. That's
and
the
then
best.
I have a couple of yeah. The 497 is for the workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3-month coaching eventually would go up to 1,997.
I think
content only would be 497.
Yeah, that makes. I think you could do something similar structure-wise to what I've done by having those two as your first core offering, like workshop plus 3 months coaching. because the nature of what you're
Mhm.
doing is it doesn't happen in a day. It does take time to actually physically lose the weight.
Right.
I think that structure might work well for you, and then you could charge 997 or whatever you feel is right. I just think actually having that as your core offering might be,
Mhm.
because then you can genuinely give them the promise of, like, I want to be able to give people the promise to secure your next role. I couldn't do that if I was only doing the search section, that first bit.
Right.
Whereas, so if you want to be able to make the offering of drop your first £30 or something, I can't remember what your kind of thing was, but drop
Mhm.
£30 in 30 days or something, whatever it is, you could do that if you've included 3 months coaching.
3 months. Right. That's
Or
a really
you
good
couldn't,
point.
after a workshop, your promise would have to be different after the workshop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thinking if it's workshop alone, maybe with 2 follow-up calls, I may be able to have something around, lose your first 10 pounds. But if I do the workshop plus 3-month coaching, then yeah, that would be more, I think, more impactful
I think it's a powerful sell then.
and results.
Results, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Good suggestion. So, and then I had just a couple of add-ons, like some done for you meal guides and recipes and things like that. She says they wouldn't necessarily be downsells, more of an add-on if you wanted some done for you meal plans, things like that.
So upsell as in like individual upsells, or would that be bonus content for your membership site? Or
well, upsell would be the one-on-one coaching, eventually working one-on-one. And then I had a downsell for the meal plans, but she said that's not really a downsell. It's more of an add-on.
Yeah, I'd probably
that
have
someone
them as
can
bonuses,
purchase separately.
unless there's something that you go through with an individual. If they're meal plans that like a PDF download, I'd have them as like a bonus that they get as
Yeah. So this would have to be a little bit more tailored, what I had in mind. So kind of
Right.
a complete individual questionnaire, and then
Right. Oh, okay. So in that case, yeah, an add-on. Yeah, that makes sense. So, but they can buy that in addition. So they could buy the workshop, and then they could have the option of buying that in addition, or at the end of the workshop, maybe that's what you sell. Mind you, you'll be selling into the one-to-one or your group, won't you?
I'm not sure. Kind of threw it in there. I don't know.
Maybe they get that as part of the one-to-one coaching. Maybe that only is available when they do the one-to-one coaching. So when you do the upsell at the end of your virtual workshop, and maybe, are you thinking virtual workshop plus group coaching, and then the upsell being one-to-one?
Right. Yes.
So it could be your virtual workshop, 3 months group coaching, and then your upsell being one-to-one, including personalized meal plans.
Yeah.
That would be a
nice,
nice clean offer, if you know what I mean, like this and then this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, and you know what? That's with the upsell. I didn't read the whole thing. I had included the meal plan as well, and then also as a separate purchase for somebody in the group. So if you don't want to do the one-on-one, but you do want to add, that would be a separate.
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes.
Yeah. But I think you're right. I think with initially too, you want to keep it as simple as possible, easy for people to understand, and not give too many choices.
Yeah.
So, and I think you're right there. I'll look at that again a little closer. But I do like the idea of the workshop plus the way that you're doing it with a 3-month coaching.
Yeah, I think with our outcomes, although they're very different than what we're delivering to our clients, they do take a similar time frame. And I think what we're doing with Vanessa, this is contained, isn't it? Like, we will have created our program at the end of it, and the other two then kind of naturally form one after that. So I just think, it just works, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's so much more value that people get out of it.
Yeah.
So,
Good. Can I have a comment? One of the things that, and I know you know these, but there's a difference sometimes when we know something and really working through people. One of the things that I like the most about your program is that you want your main goal is really to address the mindset of these people, okay? Or so I understood the other day.
Yes.
So as you are presenting all these things, information to people, and you're creating your curriculum and you're putting recipes, whatever you put out there, is very, very important that you instill on these people that this is not a diet. Because what happens with women is that they have been, that they've tried a lot of things. And this is primarily the work that I do, okay? Even though I'm a medical doctor, a lot of what I have to work is with people's mind. So as because you're putting recipes and putting different other things, anytime that you give them material or whatever you're doing, go back to that mindset, okay? Because if not, you're going to fall into everybody else out there that's putting recipes and helping people diet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Okay.
It's something that sparked, I think,
right.
also in the logo, for example, just thinking about that you've got this, something really elegant in a suit, but there's something maybe around her head, like that indicates that mindset piece, whether it's, I don't know, I see something visually that could really work in your logo that would help communicate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
and I think that's a very good point. I mean, because even the title, it's something I have to really look at and see if I can fit it in there to just differentiate. Otherwise, you're right, it looks like another diet program.
Yeah.
Well, what's the title again? What's the title?
The title so far is Slim in Suits.
Okay.
The smart, busy.
Remember what you just said, though, which is something I got to apply to myself. She just said sometimes don't get so worried about the title because your marketing is what's going to do the heavy lifting. So you know what I'm saying? So that's a very catchy name, actually.
Yeah, I think
it's really, really.
Plus, also, I think remember the Trojan Horse. Although your program is primarily or a lot of mindset stuff, I think that's really powerful about what you do. But what they're buying, £10 weight loss or whatever they're buying, they're buying that, and how you help them get to that. It's almost like your transformational piece comes. Like that's the Trojan horse bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to feel you've got to include it. I know what we want to make sure that in the messaging, subtly, it's kind of indicated that it's about not just a diet thing, it's a mindset thing. But I don't think you have to be explicit. I think that can be implicit.
Exactly. It's just
in the materials.
Deliver to you. This comment was for you. For you to keep that in the forefront. We got to go back. Yeah.
Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure working with you guys. We must stay connected. On Facebook, and find you on the Create group. And
great. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Great job.
So then stop the recording, right, Ali? Because we're done with this.
I'll stop.